Hello crafty friends, and today I am going to show what I did. I sent out club part pieces to my gals last month for both July and August, and I posted the video with the July club cards, but now I am working on the pieces that I intended for August. I sent you everything that you needed except for I did add the Sweet Treats stamp that was the April stamp of the month. So several of you might already have this because you're VIPs and you got that stamp of the month, but otherwise just pick a sentiment that works for you for what cards you need this month. These papers are the Daisy papers. They sold out so quickly. Close to My Heart reordered them, and they still sold out super quickly. But I thought that I would send some of the components to share with you guys in case you had missed out on it. I do know a couple of you got some, but not everybody. And you know me, I love my daisies. So I also sent some of my components to make Amanda's daisies. And I'm just playing around. I don't have necessarily a direction in mind. I do like fun fold cards, as you know. So what I did for this card that I'm working on now is you fold it like a standard card, but then you fold the front part back, whatever iteration you want. You can fold it all the way back, you can fold it part way back just like I did, and then just kind of play with your components. So I cut that straight paper down, and on the back is kind of a pale pink tone on tone pattern, and so that's what's on the left of this card. And then I'm trying to decide how I want to stretch this piece in the middle to cover so that you don't see that there's going to be a gap in it. I know this is where my mind is already going, and I like having the stripes now on both sides. Sometimes I think seeing the iterations of what people think or how they process might give you ideas, or you'll see some part of the process that you're like, oh yeah, I like how she did that. So I go in a different direction, let's say, but you see something during the process that you like, so then it allows you to create in your own studio different cards. So that's why I am sharing this with you. And I went ahead and I got dimensions for that front panel so that it would have a white border around it, and I had used the straight paper for that because I originally had cut that straight paper to go there. And then just using I think it's a 2.5 inch square piece of white daisy cardstock as my sentiment to kind of bridge those gaps. And if you haven't seen me make flowers before, I will put links to a tutorial that I do for all sorts of flowers. But for my daisies, just to save time, I stack the two cutouts together, and then taking my piercing tool, I'm just pinching my fingers around the piercing tool to just bend those petals just a little bit. Add some glue in the center, offset the two sets of petals, and this daisy is already coming together very lifelike. The only other thing that I do is I take that center of the daisy and I will dry emboss it to kind of make it puffy, and I will put a piece of foam tape to keep it puffy. So kind of like a big sunflower, daisies are the same. They have a slight raised cone in the center of the flower, and to achieve that I just use my dry embossing and some foam tape. Again, if you're not familiar with my flower making process, I will have that link in the description below the video, but also up here on the video in the corner, so that you can just press that and see the playlist for my other 3D flowers. And since I have this piece of green left over and it has a great gingham on the back, I thought I'd go ahead and snare that for the other card here in the corner. And again, with this Sweet Treats stamp set, I am just taking the Just a Note, and then there's little tiny music notes. I love my music, so I'm going to go ahead and add some of those onto the sentiment. And you'll notice that I'm keeping this sentiment higher on the card, and that's because I wanted to make sure that the daisy didn't cover any of the words. I did cut this down. I don't have the dimensions. I think I just cut it down so that the Just a Note would fit on it, and it would just cover the seam for my two green pieces. So now I'm just going to go through and ink the edges of everything. It just adds some dimension. You could distress the edges if you want. You can put some shimmer brush on it. It's up to you what you want to do. I just love these papers. They make me happy. They remind me of sunshine and spring and lawns and just happy days. So I look forward to seeing what you guys have done. Be sure to post them in our group, the Facebook group, Crafting with Amanda VIP. If you're not a part of that group but want to see what we've been working on, I will put a link for that as well in the video description, as well as some of my favorite tools. I know this paper is not available. The stamp is not available at this time, but some of my general favorite tools, or you can just go check out and see what papers are available. There's a new catalog, actually 2 of them, coming out on Friday, so Close to My Heart has lots of new things for you to see. I do want to note for the stripe paper here, I did make sure that my orientation was the same, so it's almost like the stripes continue from side to side. And then I was trying out to see if I could offset that sentiment and not worry about the gap in the green, and I decided I could. So I want to have this overlap a little bit, and I will say if I receive this in the mail, I would not be noticing of, oh, why is there a paper gap there? So it's up to you what aesthetic on cards work for you, but I love this style card because the inside gives you some room to write a little note, but not a ton. They're great for just sending a smile in the mail, or a thank you, or letting somebody know that you appreciate them. So that's one of the reasons why I love fun folds. Also, it's something a little different. So now with this other card, it's a little more straightforward. It's a standard fold with the middle folded down to the bottom, and then these extra green pieces, I'm making some banner ends out of them, and I will layer those. I love both sides of this paper, so it's funny, I had originally thought I was going to use the other side up, but because I'm using the pink cardstock, I like the pink daisies on it, so I'm going to go ahead and switch that orientation around. I am such a visual person that I need to kind of do some dry fitting, and that's exactly what I'm doing here, is dry fitting and making sure that I don't have too much open space and that there's balance on the card. And a lot of that I just do by eye. Sometimes you can take what somebody else has done and kind of use your own supplies and come out with something even better. So I hope that you guys can do that. I would love to see what you've done, like I've said. And here I'm just going to go ahead and pop dot this sentiment up so that it doesn't kind of compete with the petals from the daisy. I did shape that daisy just like I did the first one. And this card is coming together quickly. I'm going to glue the pieces down just like this, and it's done. And I have this great card to send out to people. If you are a VIP, remember that you can see or receive the new catalogs with your next order anytime after August 15th. If you're not a VIP and you place an order, I believe after August 26th, then Close to My Heart will send you the new catalogs for free. So not only will you get the yearly Essentials catalog, you will also get the next seasonal catalog for September and October. In the Essentials catalog, they do have a special going right now, gnome for the holidays or something like that, with some cute gnomes in it. So be sure to check all that out. Here's a close-up of the cards. I hope you guys have a great day. If you have any questions, just reach out. I'd be happy to help you. Go ahead and like and share this video. Blessings, everyone. Bye-bye.